Hi, my name is Elle Gore, and I'm a technologaholic. And this is episode 8 of This Past Life. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. I actually just got back from being out and about, and I checked in my mailbox and received The Atlantic. My husband subscribes to The Atlantic. So I don't know if any of you have seen the most current issue or the May 2012 issue of The Atlantic, but on the cover there is an article saying, "Is Facebook making us lonely?" And I took a couple of minutes and sat down and read this article and found it incredibly interesting. It is talking exactly about the part of the reason that I started this which was a disconnection from my social group and family, friends and family. And it's really fascinating. In the just the little blurb at the top, I'm going to read it to you and then talk about a couple of things that it covered in here that I think are valid points. It says, social media, from Facebook to Twitter, have made us more densely networked than ever. Yet for all this connectivity, new research suggests that we have never been lonelier or more narcissistic, and that this loneliness is making us mentally and physically ill. A report on what the epidemic of loneliness is doing to our souls and our society. And it goes on to talk a lot about why Facebook was created and why it became so appealing to us as a way to connect with other people. Talks about how single residence houses homes have increased exponentially in the last 20 years, and about how our culture is, the American culture, how it is based on that pioneer idea, that idea of leaving everything behind and finding something great, finding something, the new self, recreating the new self, because we do feel that there is value in that, the value of the individual, which is something I personally feel very strongly, and feel that we make society greater by the power of each individual. But then, you know, it talks about how that has backfired, how that has simultaneously created a false network, a vast network of connectivity that has diminished our actual face-to-face contact, and how that has made us hungry for interaction, and how then you're lonely becomes this cycle, how then you're lonely and you reach out to people on Facebook, but how those interactions, how one-click interactions actually make you feel less satisfied with those relationships, as opposed to composed interactions between two people, which I think is all really valid. And you know, it also talks about how, when posed with the option of checking yourself out versus checking with someone checking out with a clerk at a supermarket, how many of us opt to check ourselves out because we don't want to deal with the 3 other people that are in line in front of us. You know, the one person that's moving super slowly, whoever it is in front of you, who's angry or having a loud phone conversation, or the clerk who's inattentive, or but how those are social interactions. Those are how you meet people. Those are how you expand your community of connection. And I couldn't agree with all of that more. I'm so excited that I am connected with that concept, that that's a concept that other people are feeling, that other people are suffering from. Suffering is a strong word, but that in itself makes me believe that doing this is, that living technologically in the 1950s for a month, this sort of diet from technology, is really, I'm on to something. It also talks about how how these feelings of isolation are actually making us sick on a cellular level, and how then, you know, that snowballs into illness and long-term illness. I think one of the really interesting things too is talking about the relentlessness of Facebook, that most people check Facebook first thing in the morning, and a lot of them before you even get out of bed, which was totally me. And I mean, you should really read the article. The percentages are kind of astounding. But in line with that, I'm going to read the last line of the article, which in itself is kind of what I have endeavored to do in taking on this project. It says, Facebook denies us a pleasure whose profundity we have underestimated. The chance to forget about ourselves for a while. The chance to disconnect. I think that sums it up. I mean, even the fact that I feel compelled to document my experience speaks to the need of others to witness what you're experiencing. I mean, it's kind of like if a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. I want to make sure that I make a sound. And so documenting it is the only way or the way that I thought I could do that. But I think that maybe it goes back to the storytelling at its basic level, you know, from person to person. And is that better? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I was really excited to share that. So if you can, it really is worth it. Go out, find The Atlantic, the May 2012 issue. This is the cover. And let me know what you think. Facebook interaction, or internet interaction. But I am hoping to get a P.O. box. And then I would love a handcrafted letter from any of you. It's a really interesting thing to think about, especially about how technology is affecting our health, not only from radioactivity and magnetic waves and all those kind of things from the technology itself, but from the emotional repercussions of the virtual society we are creating and virtual relationships we're creating. Something to think about. Fascinating. So I will leave you with that. This is Elle Gore for This Past Life. I'll see you another day.